All right, greetings everyone. This is Bomani Tayamba, and welcome to our conference call for our Ghana upcoming tours for November 2017 and May 2018. And we're going to go through also general details of other calls and other things that we have going on. And the main connection is our website, africafortheafricans.org. So what we want to focus on today is the November 2017 tour. So let me give you a brief introduction. We started these Africa for the Africans tours in 2006 of December, and that was our first Ghana tour. And before that, we started our business operation in October of 2006. So we're looking at a little over 10 strong years. We've been doing these Ghana tours. And altogether, we have done 12 Ghana tours. I just got back from the Ghana Repatriation Investment Tour, which was May 24th to June 6th. So virtually a few weeks ago. And that's a classic tour. One of the best times I've had in Ghana, and we're able to really just put together a nice itinerary. Now, this itinerary is a little bit different coming up. We're doing Ghana, Togo, and Benin for November. And the last time we did all three countries was in October of 2009. And it was itinerary was a little different because what we did was we went to Accra the first 2 to 3 days, and then we went to Togo, Benin, and then went around the country from the Volta region. So it's kind of in a certain process. But as many things I want to talk about that tour, because that tour is completely different from the other tours that we have done, which has been all Ghana, where we go around 4 different regions in Ghana. So in this situation, we're looking to do 3 regions in Ghana, which is we're going to be in Accra for the first 3 days, and then we're going to be heading to the Ashanti region, where we'll stay in Kumasi for 2 days, and then Cape Coast, Elmina, we'll stay in 3 days in the central region. And then the next day is you're either departing to the airport to head back to your home, or you're heading to Togo and Benin. So what I want everyone to process is the conference call email that was sent. And our goal in that reference is to give you all of the tour details up front and go through it. The main information you'll see on there is the 2 itineraries for the next 2 Ghana tour. Ghana, Togo, Benin in November, and Ghana in May of 2018. So the full itinerary, and that's usual hotels and usual setup, and that's what we've done over the years, and it's just modified as time goes along. We just enhance the itinerary and make adjustments logistically. Beyond that, I have a departure reminder list, which is specifically for the upcoming tour in November. And then I have a flight schedule option, which still shows information from the May tour. But I'm going to explain all of these details, and if you have not read through them, that's what gives you the clarity as far as our tour operation and tour process. All right, so in this call, and along with everything else that we designed, is just to communicate with everyone, give everyone clarity as far as the process of how we do things. Our tour operation and process, just like other people, it has its own unique operation in a sense. So everything as far as our tour details we keep posted on the website, africafortheafricans.org. So once you click on the website, what you're going to see is MP3 player with this music that if it's in a point where you need to turn it down, you can control it from the control, but the main thing to do is turn it off from your computer, because once you change the page, the music loads again. The same thing with a slideshow. The slideshow is just a slideshow of this many different years from 2004, I started traveling to Africa, up until now, with pictures of some of the best pictures of the different parts of the countries we have traveled, to give everyone just a fresh feel of just the beauty of the African continent. And all those pictures, you can navigate it just like the music by just pointing, clicking, and changing it, going back, and things like that. So everything is interactive as far as the music and the pictures. Now, once you go down to the main menu of the website, and if you're operating from a laptop or desktop, it's a different view. If you're using a tablet or a phone, you won't see the slideshow or the MP3 player. It just doesn't work too good on the tablet and the phone. So I disabled it. So the only way you're able to see, hear the music and see the pictures as far as the slideshow itself is on a laptop or a desktop, traditional computer, because the small devices can't handle the amount of resources it need to load these things. So once you process on the main menu, you'll see the list of tours that we have. So you'll see Ethiopia and Tanzania Roots Tour, that's November 2018, Ghana Tour May 2018, and the Focus Tour we're talking about today, Ghana, Togo, and Benin Roots Tour November 2017. So once you click on that, you'll see the full tour details. But once you keep on going down, you'll see the current tour that we have, which is our Brazil Roots and Culture Tour, July 2017. So we're leaving for Brazil the 21st, and we'll be back on the 31st. So 9 days in Brazil, and it's we're 11 strong in that journey. And then you'll see previous journey that we have. Just have some of the tour details up. You process down, you see the tour book. So the tour books are just details of previous books that we have printed, and that's a digital form, and it just gives you just a full scope of what the program is, so to give people just a little more clarity of the extensive program that we have that deals with the tour of the country, repatriation, investment, and also this array of just different things to get everybody a good feel and energy of an incredible African country with lots of roots and culture. You process down, you'll see collecting school supplies, registration, payment options, Marcus Garvey vision, repatriation, investment, about us, general articles, and contact us. So these are just supportive details of what we do, which is we organize Roots and Culture Tour to connect our people to the African presence, and mainly in Africa. Brazil is one of those few countries that we're doing outside of the African continent. Now, once you go back up and you click on the Ghana, Togo, Benin Roots Tour link, now this is going to give you 10 articles. That's a lot of information. The first one is a press release, Ghana, Togo, and Benin Tour November 2017. And that just give you an introduction about the tour that we've put together to connect you to your roots and culture. The next one we have is a tour overview, so that gives a full detail of the price breakdown for the Ghana, Togo, Benin, and then it gives you the full detail price for the Ghana only portion. So most of the people are set for Ghana, Togo, Benin, and we have a few people that are set for the Ghana only. So the itinerary is the only difference, because it just explains the breakoff point, which is the last day at One Africa when we're all checking out. Yeah. And it will explain that if you're going to Ghana, Togo, Benin, we'll be leaving out early in the morning. And if you're just staying in Ghana, you have a later checkout, but we're all leaving on that same day, which is November 26th. Right, and you go down, we have the general terms, which give you all the details, all you need to know. A full tour itinerary for the full 14 days while we're in Ghana, Togo, and Benin. Ghana visa details, and in this situation we're explaining to everyone, as far as the Ghana visa, get a multiple entry if you're doing Ghana, Togo, and Benin. And the goal right now is to get you all of the visa information for Togo and Benin via email in August. Then you have everything filled out, and we're going to do a drop-off while we're going to Accra, and then we're going to do a pickup of the visa. So everything is being processed and worked out right now with the communication with our tour guide and the embassy, Togo and Benin in Ghana. They're in the same location when we do a city tour. As a matter of fact, I want to say everyone's stressed from doing all three visa, because the Ghana visa multiple entry is $100. Togo visa is $140, and the Benin visa is $140. So that's $280. So what we look at last, I remember the Togo and Benin visa was $50 if you did it in Ghana. So that save us some money, and that's additional spending money versus spending on visas. But the stress of just sending out your passport so many different times, or trying to find a courier that can cater to doing all three passports, and even when you do that, then you add their fees on and everything, and it's just a ridiculous price. So that's one of the reasons why it was hard to really try to put this Ghana, Togo, Benin again, because all these factors had to be processed and thought about. So on a new itinerary and a new flow of things, just found a better way that we can really do this. It's three dynamic countries back to back. So this second time doing it, we have some incredible strategies that we're going to work. So once you go down the tour detail list, you'll see tour preparation, what to pack, Ghana culture, customs, improving your immune system, Ghana language tree, departure reminder list of your journey. So, and that's the list that we have on the conference call email. And when you look at that list, you'll see 30 points, and it just gives you details as far as the amount of tips we're going to collect, baggage information, how to process, from airport to airport to proceeding to Ghana, information about reminders as far as what different things to bring, calling your bank, bringing certain key items. So it's information that we're going to go through this in details on a later conference call, but we have all these things up for you to process, and then when we just go through everything, we just looking to get questions so we can just be clear with everyone. So that's why all the calls are also recorded, so you can go back and listen to the calls, and it's basically us just going in details about the details that we send to you via conference call, and also the details that we're sharing with you that's on the website. And some of it is repetitive, but our goal is to get you prepared so when you get to the country, you're clear on many things. And I'm going to connect Ron in a few minutes, and we're going to talk about some of the important things of the tour. Right, so that's one of the attachments, departure reminder list. Briefly talk about the different things on the itinerary. But what I want to process through is the flight schedule. The flight schedule that we set up, it's a setup where we have everyone leaving from different parts of the U.S., east, west, south, central. There's many different parts. We don't just say, hey, just meet us in New York, and then the people that are not even close to New York have to just pay for a whole different flight across. So we have it set up on Delta KLM to where they provide direct flights to 8 different hubs: Seattle, LA, San Francisco, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Salt Lake City, New York, Atlanta, Detroit, and 1 or 2 other cities. So if you're not from that city, what I have is a connection flight to get you to that city from where you are. So that's one of the things I promise everyone, that wherever you are, do our best to get you a flight, and we'll add it into the package and make it work. So in that situation, you have 1 day which you're flying out, which is November 17th. So once we fly out, we get to Amsterdam November 18th. So most of our flights on the day before, we're going to leave in the evening. And if you have a connection flight, you're naturally going to leave a little earlier. But the flights are set to leave in the evening. And we get to Amsterdam the next day in the morning. In any situation where anyone's flights is delayed or anything, we're all set to be there around 8. So at worst case scenario, if you have a delay or something, like all of us experienced on the May journey, somehow all of our flights got delayed, and somehow all of us got to Amsterdam about 1 o'clock, more or less. So in that case, the flight is set to leave at 3:25. So it worked out. So all of these things, it's an inconvenience where we have to do a little flying, but at the same time too, it's also set to where that setup we have is the best package that we can put together to make it work for a group setting. So yes, Delta do have direct flights. It's 4 times a week from New York, JFK, directly to Accra. The only difference is the flight leaves a 12-hour different time. Our flights leave in the evening, as how we have it. But if you leave out of New York, the flight leaves in the morning, and you get there in the morning. So then your return is in the morning. Is strange, but one of the situations you end up having is that if we set it up to get everyone to where it's hard to get everyone connection flights, and then on the return it's hard to get people connection flights and get them back on the same day they're returning back to the U.S. And in some situations, we deal with safety, not saying anywhere is unsafe when they're getting back, but the fact of the schedule that we have, we all get back in the U.S. around 2 o'clock in the afternoon using the Delta KLM setup that we have. So anyone needs connection flights. Everybody's able to get back home at a certain time the same day. No one has to stay in the airport, and no one has to go through any inconvenience. So I'm sharing that because these are some of the things that over the last 2 journeys you have taken. As a matter of fact, ever since we started doing Amsterdam in the last few years, which is based on the fact that Delta have less flights going to New York, and then they switch up the schedule. So even if we took the New York flight, our last day, our free day would be cut shorter versus longer. So it's a lot of logistics when you look at these things when you're planning them, and you're not planning them to inconvenience yourself or other people. You're planning them for many different strategic purpose to build a package that's going to work for everyone, and that's going to have a setup to where it has flexibility. So on that note, what I'm going to do is open things up and introduce our good brother, Ron Ahmed Bizzle, who traveled with me to Ghana on October 2014 and October 2015 journey of a lifetime tour, and brought several of his brothers and sisters to join us on the journey. And he's someone that is going to be one of the tour hosts along with Pepe, which is ultimately part of our 5 tour staff crew, 3 from here from the African diaspora, and we have Brother Quabin and Brother Righteous that's going to meet us there in Ghana. But Brother Ron is just an expert traveler and a lot of logistics background, so me and him always networking and working on strategies, and we're the 2 main people that you'll see just making sure all of your planning out for the journey, everything is organized as far as baggage, luggage, getting from one location to the next, and things like that. So Ron, can you hear me?
Yes, greetings, Bomani. Can you hear me?
Oh, brother. Yes, if you can give a brief introduction to our brothers and sisters, letting everyone know that you're the other tour host along with Pepe and part of the 3 crew staff in African diaspora that's going to get them ready for the tour. And so if you could just share some introduction and share your background on logistics and how you and I are going to be working together to make this journey run smooth.
Yes, family. Greetings to all of you out there. My name is Ron Ahmed. Had the pleasure of meeting Bomani a few years back. We've traveled other places other than Ghana together, and we worked pretty well as a team. This 2017 to Ghana, Togo, Benin will be something that I'll be challenged with, and I'll be happy to be challenged with it and work along with the people on the journey. If anyone out there need any type of special needs, we'll definitely try to accommodate that if we can. If not, we'll find some other means. But make sure you go through your assistance if you have any type of situation you need to, talk about. So Bomani doesn't get bombarded with a whole bunch of different items at one time because he's trying to orchestrate many other things towards logistics himself. But you have a great staff to go to help you out, to assist. We hope that everybody's cooperate because there's a big group of people who are traveling in one at one movement, and we need make sure that people pay attention to instructions. Make sure that people, if they do have to get off the beaten path, let us know what's going on so we can take note to that. Also, Bomani and I are been traveling to places in Europe and here in the States, and through that we've been trying to promote our people to travel. to get passports, visas, and travel, and make that part of at least a yearly basis of travel, because it's something that people need to open their doors up to, because it opens up new worlds for them, and it opens up a new energy within yourself, and new discoveries. Discovery is one of the most important things ever in human history, is discovery. And with that, you can share it, you can add on to it, you can tweak it, you can do many things with this discovery of travel. But I'm just happy to hear that the group is a nice-sized group. It's always a wonderful and blessed day when we can travel to Ghana. You'll find that the people are very, very beautiful and very approachable, and you're really going to love it. But yes, I'm going to turn it back over to Bomani right now. I yield back to Bomani.
I appreciate you, brother. So what we want to do, everyone, is open things up for questions. And I know we briefly went through a lot of these different documents, but the goal is to spend this less time talking about the information, try to get more interactive questions. So press *6, unmute yourself. I'll give your name and where you're calling from, and then state your question or your comment.
Greetings, everyone. This is Zena from New Jersey. I just need you to repeat that information about the 3 different visas.
All right, perfect. Yes, everyone needs to get a multiple entry Ghana visa that's going to Ghana, Togo, Benin. If you're just going to Ghana alone, you can get a single entry visa, which is $60. And you can get that. The visa is good for 3 months, so you can get it. You have to get it at least 2 months before you leave. So that's the single entry visa. Now, for Ghana, Togo, Benin, everyone has to have the multiple entry visa, which is $100. And I sent all the visa details out for everyone to print out and process. Anyone that does not have a visa email with the attachments and a few other details, do send me an email and let me know, or ask me to resend it. But the other 2 countries, Togo and Benin, the visas are $140 each, and it's just one of those situations where you have to send your passport back out. And we just came up with different strategies. Instead of doing that, that's how we did it in 2009. We're communicating with the Togo and the Benin embassy there in Ghana, and the goal is to get them to accept our package as a group and drop it off, and then pick it up from both, from both locations, and then we'll have all of our details. So my goal is to send everybody all of the details for the Togo and Benin visa via email, for everyone to print it out, fill out the paperwork, get all the requirements, and get everything together in an envelope to where we just check it out to make sure everything is good. Then when we get to the country, we just drop it off, and you'll get your Togo and Benin stamps in your passport. And that will save us time processing through each border, from border to border.
Okay, so we should get the Ghana visa first.
The Ghana visa is the only visa you should get, because you have to have the Ghana visa before you can even get on the flight to Ghana.
Okay.
The Togo and Benin visa you can do in Africa, in Ghana.
Okay, got you. All right.
Yeah.
I got it.
And what I'm also recommending is that everyone do their Ghana visa at least 3 months before we leave. So the best thing really to do it right now, for those who are going to Ghana, Togo, Benin, because you have to get a multiple entry. That's good for 1 to 5 years. So the best thing in this situation is get it right now, get it out of the way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you said you sent an email with that information?
Yeah, the first time I talked to everyone and I sent everyone the initial tour information, I send it via email, all of it. And then also on the website, when you see the link that says Ghana, Togo, Benin, once you click on it, it'll give you a link for the Ghana visa and basically all the tour details. So those are the 2 ways you can find it. The email is better because I have sample application, and I also have a copy of the stamp. The only thing that's different is I have the sample application, my application, where you just follow that and use the hotel and the details, and it's just a little simpler.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you can't find it, just shoot me an email, and anyone else listening, do the same. And I'll just send you the latest, the fresh update of what I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brother Bomani, this is Damon from Florida.
Greetings, Isa. This is Damon from Florida.
Yes.
Yeah. Greetings, Damon. Greetings, brother. How are you? Is it Damon or Damien?
Damon.
Damon. All right.
Hey, yeah, in regards to the visa for Ghana, right? Other than the flight information, do we also need like confirmation for the tickets to make sure that we have the tickets to apply for it, or just need a flight information in the hotel? That's it.
Exactly. What you need is a flight itinerary. What the visa email usually instructs is that just send me an email when you're ready to do your Ghana visa, and then I'll just send you a flight itinerary. And naturally, if I get the tickets processed and knocked out like at a 2.5 month period, and you still haven't done your visa, you can just use your login, print out your Delta ticket, flight itinerary ticket, and then you can use that. But as far as actual tickets, I am processing all of them to where we'll have everything paid off. Say about 2.5 months before we leave. So virtually in September.
Okay, so,
but I want everybody to do their guide.
So by August we could start looking about the visa thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You can even start doing it now because it's a multiple entry visa, and it's good for 1 to 5 years. And so in this situation, since we don't have our final ticket and flight itinerary, we use flight itineraries that I generate based on the Delta group booking that I have with them. Information that they send me, I just create a flight itinerary. So that's how we do it, and we just use that one page. You put it in your package.
Okay, thanks.
Perfect. All right. Next question. All right. Perfect. Ron. Let me see if you don't have your tour book.
I got a question, bro. Hey, Damon, what part of Florida you live in, Damon?
Miami.
Okay. I'm up near Fort Lauderdale, so I'll be happy to meet you, bro.
I'm about like 20 minutes away.
Okay. Let me know if you need anything. Hey, Bomani, back at you again. I'm sorry.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah, Ron, I was talking about the special reminder list that I got in the tour book. I'm just looking to go over some key things, everyone. What we wanted everyone to be is it's so many different levels of preparation, being prepared and clear with your flights, being prepared and clear with the itinerary, and all of the in-betweens. So what I want to talk about is all of the in-betweens. Now, Ghana is a country. It's incredible. But the thing of it is we're going around the country. So Accra is a capital city, and Accra, you're going to have, the internet is much better, the hotels and certain things. But it's like when we go around the country and we're going further in and out around the country, we're letting everyone understand that it's not like, us driving from New York to, down south, and you're going on 95, 75, or 85, where you have all these rest stops and all these things that are laid out. It's a situation where usually around, there's that one rest stop. The two rest stops I always tell you about. The one from Accra going to Kumasi, Lindador, and also the one in Kintampo by the waterfalls. And those are the two on our routes. So we either have to stop by a gas station where we can't really guarantee that it's just going to be the best bathroom. Sometimes we're in the middle of nowhere where we're just driving, and all you see is just nature. And if you just have to stop, I tell people it's fine. Most of the time, if it's quiet, I'm resting. So I tell everyone just tap the tour guide or reach out to myself or wake one of us up, and we'll tell the driver to stop as soon as he can stop if you have an emergency. Other than that, I would just recommend everyone while we do these long travels, because some of the travelers anywhere from like 3 to 6 hours, and when we're doing Ghana, Togo, Benin, you're moving around 3 countries in 2 weeks. So Ghana, Togo, Benin, developing nations, and they don't have all the things that some of us might be used to. That's just here in America, that's moving around on business and doing things. But we're trying to be clear to everyone, to be prepared as possible. We have a list of things. Bring your wet wipes, your Lysol, any sprays, any things you have, and have it with you on the bus, especially when we're traveling and moving. And and I would say don't let any of those things just throw you off. We do our best to get you to the best places to eat and certain things, but realistically, sometimes you go to a location, you might have one or two options, and if someone is vegan or vegetarian, you might not have as much of that option because most of the people in that local community, maybe they're more for meat eaters, so the restaurants might be catering to local community, so they might just have what they have. So we just ask everybody just to bear with the flow of everything, and just kind of go with the flow, because you're gonna have some ups and downs as you're moving around these turn points. We get from one hotel to the next hotel. Usually, the first thing I do is, we already reached out to the hotel arrangements several days before, and up until we're getting there, to have everything in order and have everything together, and that's not always the case. Sometimes you're from a distance, and even my tour guide is checking on certain things, and everything is supposed to be fine. And when we get there, it's another story. So myself, Ron, and Quabin, a tour guide, we might have to do some logistic move around to where we might have to adjust certain things to make everything as comfortable as possible for our tour members that are coming. But what I want to do is I want to reach out to Ron. Ron, based on what I was talking about with logistics and move around, since you and I are going to be doing those things, I want you to share with people some of the realistic things that do happen and what we have to do to make adjustments. And we're trying to get people to not worry about those things, just enjoy themselves, and me, you, and whoever involved will make sure everything is taken care of.
Yeah, that's first and most. Is that we want our guests to be comfortable. Want our guests to be worry-free, at the same time be focused, but definitely want the guests to enjoy the journey. When you do travel between those points of the large metropolis areas, when we do have the bus stops, just take use of those services while we do stop. Other than that, when it comes to anything that you ingest into your system via the bus stop or whatever, what I do is, when I'm like in Accra or Kumasi, you got your backpack. You can always pick up some bananas and some fruit that you can peel, or some snacks, and just you have something on the bus snack. If you're a vegan, you can always get the vegetations and things like that, the fruits, and take them with you just between those points. So you'll be fine. There's nothing to worry about. You'll be perfectly fine. It's just you just have to be prepared for it. That's what part of this talk is today, about preparation. And you want to make sure, and especially on the long trips, if you have any situations, make sure, like I say, you keep it to yourself so you can bring it to the attention of people of tour assistants or tour guide, so you don't disrupt other people on the journey, because they paid just like you have paid, and you don't want to interrupt their pleasure. So just always remember that you have the tour assistants and guides to come to with the situation, and we can try to take care of the situation, whatever it might be. Even if it's a problem dealing with, if you notice on the preparation chart, they have things up there towards packing your medical needs. Make sure if you have any type of a situation, let someone know. They can probably help you out on the tour. They might have something like, sometimes people have traveling. I'm not trying to spook anybody, but if you have traveling diarrhea or something like that, which could happen to someone, just let someone know, and then, somebody will have something that can take care of it within the day. So you always want to make sure you can reach out to someone. It's the best way to do it, instead of making your trip more miserable and you're missing out on something. So just let someone know so you can nip it in the bud and take care of it and keep on rolling. And, yeah, that's right.
Perfect, Ron, and thank you for updating and sharing that. And it's just like us moving bags and everything. We just always try to just give everybody a game plan, especially when we're in the bus. We usually need everybody's attention when we go through this process, because when we're in the bus, all of us are together, and it's the best way for us to communicate about how we're moving things around. Usually we'll talk about moving bags. Everybody have their big bags inside their doors, and then we come and knock and get them at 7 and start loading the big bags. since we're going to be doing a lot of moving, these are the things that we're going to be just talking about. And no one has to move any bags any long or length of period of time. That's part of the tips is where we use some of that to get additional help. So we always have loads of people taking bags off the bus, helping you to your room, getting them in the hotels and everything. When you're moving with a group of 40 people, which we are, you always have to think about these things. And for those who don't have to bring a lot of baggage, I'll recommend to limit your baggage. Other than that, I know people want to shop and you're out for 2 weeks, so bring as much things as you want to get rid of in one bag. That way you have more, you have more space to bring things back versus you now add an additional bag. Because while we're moving around, we're tight on space. So, so these are the things that we're just processing through. Everything that's sent via email, just want everyone to process through, and then when we do next conference call, we'll just go more into detail on some segments. But but just coming back from the last Ghana tour, it's clear to see when people process everything and get ready and read through details and are prepared, it makes a better journey for them. So that's the reason why we stress in preparation, especially if, like, for the business and investment conference, there's a lot of dynamic people you're going to meet and a lot of things that you can just really take out of it if you're looking to live and do business there in the country. So and make sure that you just get as much contact information from all the people you're going to meet, and then we'll always have your back. Other people that you're going to meet there in Ghana is going to be Sister Amicus of One Africa. She owns the One Africa Resort, and she's going to be sharing information as far as dual citizenship and repatriation. David is going to be doing a business investment conference with Dr. Sharita, and they're always talking about health and wellness. So it's a lot of different things set up for you to be prepared. So that's why we have these lesson things, and that's why we recommend that you bring a lot of different clothing so you can enjoy nature, enjoy beaches, enjoy climb the hill, the mountains, enjoy the waterfalls, nature riding. So it's a little bit of everything. The journey of a lifetime connects you beyond just the roots and culture and connects you into a modern, vibrant Africa. So when you're on this journey, you're literally going to want to have everything you need. When you're traveling naturally, you're going to have a lot of, you're going to have maybe phones, tablets, computers, and cameras, camcorders, things of that nature. So we want to bring you a universal adapter that you can use anywhere in the world, and then you want to bring you a universal extension or a regular extension cord that you can plug into that adapter, and you'll be able to plug in all of your devices in. And all the electronic devices you're going to buy now, including the shaver, all of the computers, tablets, phones, they all operate off 110, 220 volts. So you're not going to have any issues with that if you get those two things. So you're going to see things like that as far as the terminology. Other things I want to mention to people, you see the layover on the itinerary. Some of us are going to head out downtown Amsterdam. So on the flight schedule option, that's one of the things I talk about, options doing layover in Amsterdam. You can stay at the airport, or you can head out with us and pay the 950 euros. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get out to central Amsterdam, and you can just enjoy your time out. So I have a full details on what that's all about. And for those who want to process or go through it or share with me or have any questions in general, just reach out to me. It's a lot of information, but this is what we're going to be going through in the next coming months. And some of it definitely going to be repeatedly, but our goal is not to bore anyone. It's just to keep on going over the details, especially as people come along the tour, and make sure you're ready. Ron, I want to open things back up to you, and just want to see if you have anything you want to share about the layover in Amsterdam.
But Amsterdam is something. One thing that the guests might be curious about is about the entry and the exit out of the airport. Would you just need a tourist visa?
No, as long as everybody have U.S. passports, so that's all they need.
Okay, so you don't need, it's a visa-free situation, so don't even worry about that thing, which is a beautiful thing anytime you have that. Yeah, it's like going to England or somewhere, visa-free.
Yeah,
for a U.S. passport.
it's nothing special, but you get on the train, you see the scenery, and you head out to central Amsterdam, and you get some lunch, or you just get a chance to get some air, if that's what we call air, and just reduce the amount of time that you have to wait in the airport. So it's I've seen people do both, but so flight schedule options for our Ghana tour group is.
Well, Romani, quick question about Amsterdam. The layover in Amsterdam is for people that's flying out of Atlanta. Would a layover be long enough to go out into Amsterdam and come back to the airport, or it varies depending on where you're traveling from?
Now all of our flights are scheduled to get there at 8 o'clock, and we don't leave until 3:25. So by the time you get your bags and everything, it could be like 9 o'clock, 9:15, and you can get Central Amsterdam at 10 o'clock, and then you just hang out for 2 hours and leave at 12 o'clock and get back to the airport and get back to your gate about 1:30.
Okay, so we have enough time to go out and come back in. We have to take we have to take our bags with us, or there'll be areas in the airport we could lock our bags and go and come back.
Good question. Your bags, your checked bags are good. They'll get there. But as far as your carry-on bags, what we do, after we get out of passport control, they'll have some lockers downstairs at a security location. So we just pay anywhere from like 9 to 15 euros based on how big the lockers are, and 3 to 8 people can put their stuff in the locker. So you can pair up, and then those who will pair up, they can stay together. That when you come back, you can come back together and have access to the locker.
Gotcha. Hey, one more question. The weather in Ghana in November. What's the weather like in Ghana in November?
Just like Jamaica, it's about 75 degrees, very tropical, cool breeze. It's the end of the rainy season, so that's why you feel the coolness. Definitely not too hot. Kind of the end of spring weather that's here. That's what I can compare.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Anybody else have any questions before we begin to close in the next few minutes?
I have a question.
Give your name and your where you calling from.
This is Brent from Detroit, and I would just like to know in regard to the bus ride. I know we'll be riding the bus going from some points to other points. What's the longest length of time or mileage that we would be on a bus at, for any given time?
Yes, good question. We have a few long rides. We have, let's see, we have Accra to Kumasi. That is about 5 hours. And then from Kumasi to Accra, that's another 5 hours. We're going to be in Kumasi for 2 days, so once you get to Kumasi, 2 days later, you have another 5-hour ride. Then once we get to One Africa in Elmina, we're there for 3 days. For those who are going to the airport, that's like a 3-hour ride to the airport. But for those of us who are going to Togo, it's more like an 8-hour ride. And then from Togo to Benin, you're looking at, I'm trying to remember how long it took us last time, you're looking at about 3 to 4 hours. And then back from Benin to Ghana, that's the longest ride. It's going to take us a good 10 hours to get from there to the airport, because I tried to get us out of the airport out of Benin, and it was a nightmare trying to make the arrangements. So once we finished in Benin, I had to make it to where we leave out of Ghana airport, so we have to now drive to Togo and then get back to Ghana. So hopefully I'm not scaring anybody, but I'm just answering the question and giving the details of the rides of what we have based on the itinerary. So you're looking at 3 to 8 hours, not 3 days, for different bus rides.
Okay. Let me just ask one more question in regard to the bus.
Sure.
Is this going to be like comparable to a Greyhound bus? I mean,
oh yes, absolutely. This is the party bus. We have documentaries. We have a big screen TV. We have a microphone. We have people going to be singing, performing. People going to be sharing details about their life on the bus. We're going to make it to where you're not even thinking about the ride. Kind of like on the airplane, where you're chilling on the airplane and you have that long flight and you have you're just being entertained. we have some things for you to do. And if you want to relax, put on your headset, hit the recline button on your seat, and recline back and enjoy the cruising. But it is definitely a coach bus. The size of it reminds me of a Greyhound bus, and it's just we have a little more comfortable setup, but it's designed the same way. Now, Ron, as much as you've been on the buses, if you want to share.
Yes, Sister Brent. They're luxury tour buses, very modern tour buses. They're very comfortable. You have all the amenities on there, just like any other long-distance tour buses. The big screen TVs. You have the other thing is a plus for the long travel is you have the sightseeing. Most of the people who haven't never discovered Ghana, a lot of that time is going to be consumed by looking out that window because you'll see all kind of situations that are interesting, of interest throughout the travel. So, virtually, when you're dealing with music, video, audio, entertainment, sightseeing, it'll eat up that time. It'll eat the time up or whatever you want to do. So it's very comfortable. It's nothing to worry about.
Okay. Thank you.
And my sister is there, and she's going to be hosting the tour bus ride, so she has plenty of entertainment for us to do while we are traveling. All right, everyone, I want to open up things for questions before we close in the next few minutes.
What about the exchange of money? Where do we do that?
Perfect. The exchange of money we're going to do along the tour. We have a money exchanger that will be traveling with us here and there. But also we're going to be exchanging money at the Forex Bureau in town and also at the hotel. So every day you have access to exchanging money. And then if you need ATM machines, you have access to those daily for your Visa and your MasterCard.
Okay.
So we encourage you to shop. And if you need more, you reload.
And let me bring up the situation with the phone again. If you have an unlocked phone, if you want to bring an unlocked phone, you can get phone service there. It's very simple. It's very inexpensive, and you can use that SIM card to call the States or whatever. I use the same phone in every African country I go to, my unlocked phone. I have all the SIM cards for different countries. So you just have to buy the time, which you can buy at the time. Whatever service you use, you can buy those cards. You can load up your phone anywhere. So it's very simple. If you want to go through your own carrier from the States, I wouldn't advise that because no matter what kind of package it has, it's going to be expensive. But you can do that. That's also an option if you want to use your own AT&T service or whatever. Because mostly those companies, they know your phone knows. They know when you're in other countries, and they'll invite you to use their packages. But I just use an unlocked phone or some, And if you're not going to make, too many phone calls, then might serve your purpose of just using your own service. If you, all you do is how deep your pockets are. But the SIM cards are very simple there. In fact, when you arrive in Accra, sometime between that time and we depart at the mall there, they have phone services there, which only takes a few minutes to register and get the SIM card. So that's an option.
Excellent. Looking for a few more questions before we close.
Yes, this is Brent about the unlocked phones and the phone situation. I mean, I don't anticipate calling anybody in the States, so I don't even see. I mean, is there really a need? Who I be calling?
Hey, you good? You good then?
I mean,
you're good to go.
Calling anybody.
You're good to go, Sister Brent. You're good to go.
All right.
Yeah, just like the
people. That's only for people. That's only people that needs to make contact, stay in contact with whatever.
Just like I talk about extension cords. Some people won't even have a phone or any kind of electronics, so don't even worry about that. But the goal is to get people. You have some people have traveled for, and some people have never traveled. And you have some people that are simple, looking to do a simple travel, and some people looking to do something a little more complicated. But we try to cover everything to make sure that everybody's clear and prepared, and go through all of these things. That way, when you get to the journey, you can focus and have the best time of your life and get all the things you need to get done. The worst thing is you get somewhere in a tour and you realize that you're not prepared and you don't have certain things, and the next you start just being irritated, and then we're hoping that that person will irritate everybody else. But
yeah,
having all the things you need just makes it a dream come true, because everything else on the tour is set. Being running around, making sure everything is good, just cruising and enjoying yourself.
Right. These are just options. Options like if like say you're ironing your clothes, what I do is I don't even take iron. Some people like to iron their own clothes. I just use the hotel service. If we're staying in a hotel, I just use if I need something ironed, which is very seldom. Instead of taking all the extra stuff, I just use what's there. So it's just another option. You can iron your own clothes, ring iron if you want to lug it, or travel iron, the small ones, or we can use the services. So there's plenty of options.
I like what you just said about the travel iron. In my situations, I like to have my iron with me. As a matter of fact, I got a small one and this other decent sized one. They both work anywhere in the world. They're a standard U.S. connection, but they're 110, 220, and once I plug that thing in, that thing work. But that's what we put on the travel iron. So
I carry a travel iron, Bomani, but I never use it.
Well, you can always get
I always have one.
You can always get someone close to you. You know how it is in Ghana. You're probably used to people.
You can do that too. There's a lot of options. You can do that too. It's amazing. You can do that also.
Yeah, and then if you need laundry done, you just put a request in from the front desk. But our goal is to make sure that you have everything that you need in Ghana. The only thing we can't really guarantee you is this internet. Internet is just, the only thing I can say is just what it is. Internet might be good in one location. Maybe you get some good internet in Accra, the capital city, Lomé in Togo, and then Cotonou in Benin. But then around the country, you might not get as good internet. But I would say just bear with it. You're not going to be anywhere on an itinerary no more than for a few days. One of those things we're in Africa, and we're always pushing a repatriation investment to us because we always want to see the growth and the future of Africa. We always want to be a part of that and want other people to share in that vision. And that's how we make changes in Africa, and that's how we build and make things happen. So we have different backgrounds and we see different things, and some of us are raised different. But all these countries, honestly, they're developing countries, and you go around parts of Ghana, you'll see the riches, you see the mansions, and people living at a certain level, and then you'll see the natural poverty, and you see certain things. You'll see the gutters and certain things, but then also, so you're going to see a little bit of everything, but there's no one synonymous thing that's all in Africa, so you're going to go, there's no country you're going to go to where everything is just poverty and things like that. But we understand some people see different things throughout the daytime, and we're trying our best to get everybody prepared for when they go to the country and things are. But the good thing about it is you're with us. We've been there many times, and we're not going to take you anywhere unsafe, and we're not going to, we want you to enjoy an experience. An experience sometimes requires you to be open, and it also requires you to experience something different from what you're used to experiencing. So the hotels in Togo and Benin are very nice. Usually do certain international hotels because, especially in a country that don't speak English, same thing as Brazil, because you want them to have a staff of people that speak English. That way your guests, your tour members are not frustrated by not being able to communicate with the people in that country at the hotel, and then the same thing with the tour guides. Our goal is to just have, this is what we do. We have these things covered, but we also want you to communicate with us. Sometimes people share things with us at the end of tours that, it'd be beneficial to share things up front. And that's why we try to open up a dialogue to talk and communicate with everyone. And I try my best to just reach out to everyone every once in a while and as best as I can. But you can always call, and if you have any questions or want to talk about certain things, our goal, we're inviting everyone to these countries to give them a proper introduction, to connect them, to make sure you have a special experience. So we're available, and I would just say this: talk and communicate with us. Don't wait till you travel and come back and then you saying things and sharing things with us that we can't change or can't do anything about. So that's why we're going through these things, so no one have any surprises. So let me know if you have any concerns or anything you want to know about going around 3 different countries, and about all the things that we have on the itinerary, and about some of the videos that you may have seen of the pictures, or if you heard anything about traveling to these countries, anything that's scaring you, or anything you don't feel easy with, because we make sure that all the countries you go to are safe, and then there's no drama going on, and that we can handle whatever the situation is.
One more question.
Sure, go ahead.
What do you think the estimated amount of spending money you should bring? I'm not a big shopper, so.
I would say I have on the list $400 or $500 to $800.
Okay.
And, but if bring more and kind of work it out. But the good thing about it, if you just carry some cash on the card or so, you can always just reload because you just never know what you're going to spend. But cash is king in those countries. So once you have your U.S. money, you exchange your money to the local currency, and then you're good to go. But if you want to save yourself some ATM fees, just bring as much cash as you want.
Is it a certain amount they allow you to bring into the country as cash?
Up to $10,000.
Oh, I ain't bringing that much.
if you try to leave the U.S. with $10,000 without permission, they're going to take it from you. It has to be like 1 cent below $10,000. It's $10,000 above, but most people aren't going to take $10,000. What I recommend if you do take some bills, take those $50 and $100 bills with you.
Okay.
The larger bills for the exchange rate. The best exchange rate is the large bills.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you always have access to the ATM machine in the large cities, and Cape Coast, Kumasi, and Accra if you want to pay the international fee and the bank fee. So you have more options. We have plenty of options on this tour. So it's up to you what you want to do with that funding.
Yeah, like I would say, bring no more than like $99, $100 bills and $9, $10 bills. That's $9,990, and that's anything over that, you're in trouble.
unless you got permission. I used to be in the airline industry, and I've seen it with my own eyes. They'll count every penny, So just so you know for the future. Yeah. But you just have to have permission if you go over. They want to know where you got the money. Yeah. Okay.
Tell me this some money laundering. So, absolutely. But the good thing about the tours that we do is we set it to where everything is paid off and taken care ahead of time. That way, none of us really have to worry about a lot of cash, and it just keeps it simple for us. So especially with this Ethiopia tour we have coming up October, it's a dream come true. Once you get on the flight, you ain't got to worry about nothing until we get back to here, because everything is literally just taken care of. So.
Do you collect money from us for the tips for all the places we go, or we do that out of our own?
We do a $50 flat rate tip, and then that's what we use to take care of all of the logistics, baggage handlers, and people we need to tip. So, and that covers the duration. So we just collect that at the airport, and that's on the departure reminder list and the general terms. All right, Taris, I see your line open. Do you have a question?
Yeah, hey, Bomani, how you doing, man? Darius in Atlanta. I wanted to ask you, man, you mentioned the rainy season, the end of the rainy season. What do we have to worry about as far as mosquitoes, and what do we need to bring, and can we bring it with us from America to there, or is that something we need to purchase there?
Yes, perfect. Yeah, purchase any kind of mosquito sprays or anything that to just spray yourself. That way you're good to go. And anything that you desire to bring us, I would say put in your check bag, because it's it's a spray can, so more than likely it's going to be over 3 ounces. So if you bring it in your carry-on bag, the folks that like to grab stuff doing your process through security, it's going to take that. Yeah, because they get excited when they find something with some liquid over 3 ounces. Yeah. So I'll just say anything like that, just put in your carry-on bag, but it's put it in your check bag, and you'll have no problems, and it's completely safe. Just make sure you get the safest thing as possible for mosquito spray. Other than that, what I recommend is just to not eat a bunch of, not spray a bunch of sweet stuff on yourself, and if you're going to put any lotion or oils or anything, put something as natural as possible that's not going to generate a smell, and just keep away from this open space of sitting water.
And you can purchase fragrance-free lotions. They're out there because I use them when I go to the Middle East. if you don't want any to track any of those types of insects, they have those types of lotions. But like I said, you get some citronella oil, the repellents. I don't recommend sprays. I don't recommend anybody putting. You can do it if you want, but I don't recommend anybody spraying any poison on your body. But you get some citronella oils and citronella, the repellents that are natural. You pack them in your checkered luggage. You be good to go. Because mosquitoes don't like citronella.
And one more question, Beaumont. You mentioned clothing, man. What's the dress? Tennis shoes, open toe shoes?
Yeah, I would say dress you're going on your honeymoon for 2 weeks and have all the stuff you need. So you're gonna be going to the beaches, you're gonna be going to nightclubs, business conference, you're gonna be chilling in the daytime. So you wanna put on combination of you want to have a little bit of everything. When we do the business conference and when we actually go out is the time we really need to get dressed up. And then during the daytime, just be as comfortable as possible. For ladies, sundress or something where you're going to feel comfortable because you're moving around and walking. And definitely the walking is one of the things. You're going to be walking every day, so be as comfortable as possible. Like I was messing with some folks in Egypt, and I put the camera on them, and I said, this is what you do not want to wear when you travel on a journey of a lifetime. We're climbing through mountains and caves and things like that, and they got on flip-flops. And those rocks are hard, so you just got to, you have to have your terrain shoes, something comfortable, going to botanic gardens or walking through the dungeons. So, but what you're doing is you're putting a little bit of everything together in your 2 bags. That way you have a little bit of everything along the journey.
All right.
Yeah, if you definitely if you go to that preparation page on the website, that preparation page has everything you need to travel just about anywhere in the world. The tour preparation page that Bomani has set up for the journey to Ghana, Togo, Benin, that preparation page has so much information. It's the page that I use because you virtually got you follow that page, you good to go.
Yeah, you won't forget. I just came up from Ethiopia. You won't forget anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that preparation page is good.
And Ghana, and that's what we used to get ourselves prepared. So, because whenever we think of something new, which is very rare to find something that we can put on a list that's not on there, we just put it on there, and then it's just part of the details that but we're going to go through all of these lists and upcoming conference call and full details. And definitely just want to stick to an overview, everyone, with all the details. Please, everyone, just read through them, take some notes so we can have some questions, and then be prepared for the journey, be prepared for the long flights, the long bus rides, be prepared for the different atmosphere, the different people trying to get you to buy different things from them, and the different people that you're seeing that's a part of your journey. Just be prepared for it all, and then enjoy it. And then if you want another journey, you can always come back and even do a journey on your own if you need some more time to do certain things. But this journey gives you a true introduction of a lot of different things. So we're not rushing you, and nothing is ever a rush. It's so many things that we have, but they're only set up for a short period of time. Like sometimes some people feel like we might need to stay at the school for the whole day. And I'm like, have fun, that's fine. But it's like, we have no problem with dropping you off at the school and you stay there all day. As a matter of fact, if you want to stay there and do volunteer work for the next 6 months, no one is going to say anything. Everybody's going to just be thankful. But it's a schedule thing that we have. But the schools are definitely open to volunteers and anything anyone could do to fix the bathrooms, to financial donations, open the school supplies. So anything anyone could do or share from their heart. The only thing I would tell people is that don't promise any school or any locations or anybody that you're going to do something and don't do it. I've seen that over the period of time, and then they ask me, like, hey, Bomani, where's this person? I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know, me. I only could deal with what I can deal with. I'm always trying to get as much support for the school and things, but it's like, no one has to don't make promises you can't keep. That's something that the ladies usually tell the brothers. And nevertheless, when you're there in the country, you'll see a lot of things, and all of us have a heart. And myself, I want to do many things, honestly, and it's just you can only do so much. So to try to do a little something and try to connect people and try to help get certain support. But one of the issues is the bathroom at Trinity. That's usually a comment I hear about many times. And it's probably a simple thing that could be fixed with simple engineering and putting a catch water system on top of the small bathroom building to get fresh water to flow into the urinals or the toilet to keep it from having a smell from when you have a lack of water. But nevertheless, that's one of the things. And if anyone who could do certain things, everyone is always open. But if you can't, just do what you can. And we're thankful that you can make the journey and connect. We don't want anyone to ever think that it's all about you going to Africa and having to sponsor children and raise funds to do certain things. We just try our best to take people around to different schools and orphanage and let everyone get a realistic view of what's really going on in Africa and how certain communities are, and fullness of it in our true heart and experience. And that's why we do this, to share with our brothers and sisters what we love, which is being in Africa and being a part of the future. And we're doing different things, but it's so much going on and so much more support can be generated. My brother Ron is always in Senegal, and he has done business and done all kind of wonderful things there. And I want him to share, Ron, if you're going to share with me some of the things that you've done in Senegal, some of the things that you have seen people do, and just letting people know that anything that they want to do and contribute to schools and orphanage and places like that, they're open for your support, but just be real with them.
Yeah, towards the schools, you really have to be serious about if you're going to try to help the schools there in Ghana or anywhere you travel, because the people, they depend on your donations and your ability to help them services. Most of the schools that Togo money takes you to are schools where you'll see the diasporans that are running these schools and that started these schools up. It's pretty much how it's set up. And they really take it seriously when they take it to heart when you make a promise to them. And I'm sure they get their hearts broken quite a bit. From not from people from our tour, but from people from all over the place. But just be serious if you're going to make a contribution, or it's just like what you do here in the States. If you're going to say that you're going to, it's wonderful to say that you're going to contribute because it's about the heart. But try to live up to that contribution because it's very important to them for their success, especially the children. And that's what it's about. I know what I do is. When I nation build, I spend half of the year in Senegal. In fact, I just got back a few days ago, and I got back to Washington and I took off, went to California for 3 days, and got back here yesterday. And because I'm always over in West Africa, I just because I have my shops there and I do my 501 there that I had set up mainly in Senegal. Helping people build homes and businesses and startups and plus my own family businesses that primarily the markets are Nigeria, Trinidad, Tobago, and here in the States towards the clothing industry. But the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit on that continent. If you got a dream, if you got a good business plan, if you got focus, you got all those elements you need. You got good people, mainly good people, good honest people. And all the rest, you don't need people who are going to be dishonest towards you anywhere in this world. But you really have to be sharp, smart, witty, not to be misguided because you can get duped anywhere in the world. So you don't want to get tricked by someone when you go to Ghana from someone on the side that's a shyster that's going to feed you some hogwash and then you end up getting ripped off. That's why I say you communicate with the tour guides, you communicate with Bomani, and because people are very, very nice there. But just like here in the States or anywhere in the world, they know we come over there with money. We have money, we have access. So you have to be, again, like I say, focused and wise when it comes to that. But when it comes to contribution of the schools and all that, you're good to go. The schools that Bomani takes you, all the people that the people Bomani associate with on this tour, those people I associate with. It's the same people he's been connected with for decades, for the last decade or so, and he won't fool with them if they aren't those good people. That's what you surround yourself in this life. That's what I teach. You surround yourself with what we call good people, so you can have less problems that way. But I'll yield to that. But if you ever need to talk about some of these topics about Senegal or West Africa or doing business or just need just to kick some knowledge, just let me know, and I'll be happy to open up what I can share with you. I yield, Bomani.
Absolutely, Ron. Appreciate your energy and introduction on that. And I've and this is what I was talking about in the tour book. I usually put special reminders, and these are some of my notes I usually just go to before we even print the book off. One of the things that I want everybody to be clear on is that you're traveling to a country where, if you're a female, you might have several guys come to you and say they love you, or say certain things and sweet talk you. And the same thing, with the guys, you might have, certain females do that. And just want you to just not take it to heart like that. I'm one of the person that believe in black love and things like that. But I'm also saying that it's a different feel in Ghana. You're gonna meet a lot of nice people, so just be careful. And this one of the things that we have. Ghanaians are very friendly, just like if we was in Jamaica, I would say the same thing, or if I was in another country, I'll say the same thing. And this is just in reference to where we're specifically going. However, be wary of people who just want to make quick money off you and make promises that they cannot keep. You should know as much as possible about the people you are planning to do business with. David Jawara and his Africa Up Consulting Group is our repatriation and investment conference host. They're the ones we recommend you do business with in Ghana, or at least consult with. So when you go to business conference, you're going to have a lot of different people, and those are the folks that we have that recommend that you connect with. And everyone is set there to be at your best interest, because what we're looking to do is build a nation and an energy of our own in a country like Ghana, where we as a people in African diaspora connect with our folks on the African continent, and we're building the institutions and putting together the things that we need as a people and doing for ourselves. And these are some of the same philosophies that Marcus Garvey talked about, us making moves in Africa and us being a part of that future. So this is the best way we have been able to link and connect. And most of the people that you're going to meet, I've known them for over a decade. And if they were terrible people, I obviously wouldn't have them around, because we have to move in the highest integrity of business and make sure everybody is taken care of and everybody's fine. But there's certain people that we don't know and we can't really connect you with, and that's what we're trying to tell you, to be careful of people. If you need to run anybody by myself or the tour guide is one of our best connections there. He's just completely, he's just completely dedicated to his country, to where he's doing the dirty work, which is trying to get more and more people to live and do business in this country and things like that. And all of us want to see all of us grow, and we can't have certain people around if we're looking to grow and do for ourselves. So we do our best to keep away certain people that's going to bring bad energy. So just, when you're around the journey, just process everything. And if you have any questions about anybody before you do any business, if nothing else, reach out to myself. Then you're going to have your elder Imacus there, which is one of the truest people that you're going to ever meet. So family, before I close out, I just want to know if anybody have any last minute questions, and then we'll close out.
Well, Monty, this is Darius again. I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Are we on the Togo or Benin? I haven't read the itinerary yet. Are we going in the same day, both countries, and coming back to Ghana?
No, what we're going to do is we're going to do 8 full days of Ghana, and then the 9th day in Ghana, all of us are leaving Ghana. So for those of us that are leaving Togo, Benin, we're going to leave for Togo, and we're going to spend 2 nights in Lome. We're going to stay there the first night. When we get there, it's going to be in the evening, and we're just going to enjoy the night there. The next day, we're going to do our full tour there in Lome, and then once we finish our full tour, we're just going to close out for the day, and then we're going to leave the next morning early and head to do all of the sites in Benin. Not all the sites in Benin, the one site in Benin, which is Ouida. And since that's the closest part from Lome when we leave in Togo, So it's 2 days in Togo, and then we're literally spending 3 full days in Benin.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, definitely one of the things you want to do is read through the itinerary. And when you read through it, you look at all these things. But if you look at the map flow, you like, we're gonna be, we're moving, and we go to a certain pattern on the map. All right. So I'm gonna be closing now. Ron, would you like to say anything in closing before I wrap it up?
No, I'm going to yield. We can pick up some things the next conference call that we missed. If we missed anything on the preparation chart, but I think we covered just about everything. There's a few little things, but we can pick those up later. It just has to do with,
Yeah, I mean, it's be impossible for us to go through all of the list of all the things.
Right.
We're trying to get more people to look through the list, and we'll go through certain parts of the list here and there until we cover everything. But the main, it's just an introduction for you to be prepared and look at the details in fullness and just read through it. And I'm telling you, once you get on the journey, everything will be clear and you'll be ready to go. And those who don't read through the stuff and not prepared, it's it's a little painful because then you might have forgotten something and things like that. And you just really wanted us to have everything you need, and then just be on a 2-week energy of just enjoying the journey of a lifetime. So family, this is Bomani Tayamba. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, and check out our website, africaforafricans.org, for all the details. Check out the YouTube page, youtube.com/Bomani2007, or this Bomani Tayamba on YouTube, and you see all of the highlights for our Ethiopia journey that we went on in May, and then be prepared for Ethiopia October 7th to the 16th of 2017. All the details on the website. If you have any friends or family members or anyone interested in anything that we do, please share the details on Facebook, YouTube, and the website. And for those on Facebook, definitely I would say just add yourself to one of the group pages and send a friend request out. If you're not on Facebook, it's ideal to sign up because we have access to all of the Ghana photos that we've taken over a decade. And when we do take photos and we start sharing, it's be just mainly through Facebook, but Instagram is something that trying to get more and more people to tag the pictures and add each other. So family, on that note, I'm going to unmute everyone and say good night. And everyone,
Thank you.
Take care, enjoy your night, and I'll connect back with you next conference call in August.